Who are you today?
I'm a survivor. I don't think I've said that out loud. It was late 2014, early 2015 that I met my former partner. We were introduced by family members from either side. It started off very on the surface, like very much a love story. We had a lot of fun, so many similarities. He didn't live here. He actually lived in the States. So it was a lot of like back and forth visiting, which was great too. In the beginning, it was psychological and emotional. So I would say things like we'd get into a huge argument and then I'd just be like, it's too much for me. I don't want to be in the relationship anymore. And he would literally call my phone like 100 times in a row. 100. To dial somebody's number 100 times in a row is ridiculous. Over and over and over and over and over again. And I'd
It's
start to
very
feel
hard
like, oh my
to
God, like I'm such a
explain
monster.
in
This
words
poor
what it
guy.
feels like, which is ironic because when I have manic and depressed symptoms at the same time, I'm angry because nobody understands, even though I can't express how it feels. But mostly I'd say the words that come to mind are desperate, agitated, irritable. There's just this sense of something's going to snap, something's going to break inside me. Well, for me, pure mania had more euphoria to it. It was also kind of that pushing, pressured feeling, but it didn't have the irritability as much as the mania with depressive features. And in mania, I don't feel tremendous self-loathing that I do otherwise. In depression, I just feel like I'm completely worthless and that the world is hopeless. And I speak in very global terms, like nothing's going to work out. I will
And our
never feel
shirts all
better
big and
again.
bandanas on and rapping street things and talking about guns. And every verse was about how I would run in your house and tie your parents up or something like that. And I sold over 1 million records in a heartbeat. It was about lyrics. It was just about, it wasn't about what you were talking about, it was about how you was talking about it.
What do you say to people who call your music vulgar, misogynistic, offensive, degrading?
No, if that's what you think about the music, if that's what you categorize it under, then so be it. All those things made me who I am, and I am a very
in the
successful.
Earl S. Richardson Library on the grounds of Morgan State University. I am Diana Edward Smith, class of 1964, and I will be interviewing Laverne Kelly, a civil rights pioneer. Good morning and welcome, Laverne Wallace Kelly.
Good morning. How are you? So glad to be here and see you once again.
Oh, it's good to see you too. Laverne, before we talk about your participation in the civil rights activities at Morgan during the 1960s, can we, as a prelude, talk about your background, your family, your life before Morgan? Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I was born here. My family's history is here. My father is born on the eastern shore of Maryland. My mother's family are Harford County people. The Gwynn family has a large history here, and I'm going to be sharing that at some time today. But I've been a Baltimorean all my life, although I've lived all over the country.
You
I
mentioned
always
that
consider this home.
in a biography, and didn't your press secretary suggest that you're not?
Oh, yes, the suggestion was made that, oh, you can't tell them that you got hit in the head by a carriage or wheel because they'll think that that's why there's something wrong with your head. And so I haven't told that story too often lately.
Didn't actually that did work against Wayne Morse, didn't it?
Yes, Joe McCarthy, I thought one of his attacks that I thought was out of line. They weren't all out of line, but this one certainly was. He said the trouble with Wayne Morse is that he
Well, a
got kicked
warm
in the
welcome
head
to this
by a
talk.
horse.
Thank you for logging on.
That is why he-
I'm just delighted to introduce Emeritus Professor Robert Clancy from Sydney, Australia. That's right, isn't it? You're in Sydney at the moment.
I'm in Sydney, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, nice and warm. Yeah. clinical immunologist, in fact, pioneering clinical immunologist. I believe you were one of the first, well, were you the first senior clinical immunologist in Australia?
Well, there was no training program when I started, so 2 or 3 of us got together and said, look, let's make it something. Yeah,
Okay.
so we were. That was at a time when the British were very laboratory orientated. You might remember with people like Michael Lloyd.
Today is January the 12th, 2014. I'm going to interview Mr. Vũ Anh for Journey to Freedom documentary film. Thưa chào anh, thưa anh có thể cho biết tên, năm sinh cũng như là quê quán ở đâu ạ?
I can't imagine golf being an abscess for Tiger Woods.
I wouldn't look at it like that, no.
Just a bit of a sore sometimes.
Sometimes, absolutely.
Sore perhaps from the repetitive strain of lifting so many trophies. In his brilliant career so far, he's won 92 professional tournaments, but the ones that really count are the prestigious majors. He's won 14 of those, second only to the great Jack Nicklaus, whose record of 18 majors is well and truly in Tiger's sights. What motivates you today?
Winning.
Winning.
Mm.
Still.
Mm-hmm.
Will it forever, do you think? I mean, how much winning is enough for you? Because you've won a darn lot.
I've won a few times, yes, certainly, and would like to win more.
What about the world's expectation that every time you play, they expect you to win? They even expect you to make history. Does that ever scare you?
Not scary, no. It's frustrating sometimes in a sense you have to explain yourself when you don't win. Even sometimes people just outplay you. That's just the way it goes.
Didn't you ultimately wind up as the show's...
Yeah, well, I inherited the show just because I was there.
How did that show lead to the series called Life with Elizabeth?
I sang 3 songs during the show, but we'd lead into the song with a little sketch, and the payoff, the joke of the end of the sketch would be the title of the song, and instead of saying the line, I'd start the song.
Right.
Don Fedderson was the station manager, and Don called us into the office, and he said, that husband and wife thing you do you think you could make that into a half
and seems bent on global domination. Her parents named her after James Taylor, and her fans are called Swifties. If you haven't guessed her name by now, you are clearly living under a very large rock. Headline said it best: Taylor Swift is the music industry. This is your first album of all pop songs. Are you at all worried that you will lose some of the country fans?
I am not worried about that. I'm really in touch with my fans and I know what they like. What my fans in general were afraid of was that I would start making pop music and I would stop writing smart lyrics, or I would stop writing emotional lyrics. And when they heard the new music, they realized that wasn't the case.
Welcome back to The Late Show, an author whose new memoir is already the best-selling book of 2018. Please welcome the former First Lady of these United States, Michelle Obama. Nice to see you again. Thanks so much for being here. As you can tell, I'm not the only one who's excited that you're here tonight. And I'm guessing you get that a lot these days on your book tour. People are very excited to see you again.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good to be back out here.
It has been more than good. As I said before, I'm used to talking to you as Flotus.
Yes.
But now you are the best-selling book author. The best-selling book of 2018, Becoming.
Yeah. Talk about your time as a member of SEAL Team 3.
It's beautiful.
Okay, and this is... tell us the difference between, say, SEAL Team 3 and SEAL Team 6. We've all heard about SEAL Team 6. They're the ones that killed
Bin Laden.
Bin Laden, and they yeah, I forgot who they killed. Some guy. They just carried out another operation just days ago. So, what's the difference between SEAL Team 3 and SEAL Team 6?
Well, originally you had SEAL Team 1, SEAL Team 2.
Right.
And then they formed up this special unit that was called SEAL Team 6.
Right.
Since then, so many guys been coming in, we've been building up the forces, that they started filling in the rest of the numbers. And to go from one of the other SEAL teams to 6, you basically have to go through another boot camp,
what is your
tryout,
response
and
to
go
the,
there.
the allegations that were brought by the district attorney in Santa Barbara that you molested this boy?
Totally false. Before I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. These are totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that.
This is a kid you knew?
Yes.
How would you characterize your relationship with this boy?
I've helped many, many, many children, thousands of children.